Welcome to the Angus Australia Spring Bull Night. It's 7 p.m, so let's kick off. Tonight, the Angus Australia Spring Bull Night continues the tradition of bringing a great lineup of presenters and bulls which showcase the Angus breed. All the presenters tonight have chosen to advertise in the Angus Australia Semen catalogue, and tonight we'll provide you with an introduction to the new bulls within their catalogues and the proven performers which have added to the Angus breed. The bulls on display tonight are all in the Angus Australia database, so if you want to look at their breeding values further, or you want to try them out in our Angus mating predictor, then make sure you take note of their animal ID. As always though, if you're having trouble finding any of the bulls or information on them from the Angus Australia database, or have questions around EBVs and the TACE analysis, then don't hesitate to give staff at Angus Australia a call. The program for tonight's presentations is as follows, and this year, for the first time, we'll be premiering through two platforms at the same time. Throughout the night, you'll have the opportunity to type questions in the comments section on either platform. And if you do, we will do our best to get those questions answered. However, if for whatever reason the question is missed, or you want to know more, the contact details for all our presenters can be found by going into the relevant Angus Australia Semen catalogue available on the Angus Australia website. All the presenters tonight would be happy to hear from you, so make sure if you like any of the bulls on offer, you give them a call to discuss the bull's use in your specific situation. Finally, there'll be an opportunity to provide feedback on the event, and we really need this feedback. Any feedback you can provide, even if it's as simple as rating how useful you found the event, is hugely valuable. This is critical to enable us to continue to bring you this event into the future. And with that, we'll begin the night.
Welcome everybody to the worldwide size presentation for the Angus Australia Spring Bull Night. I'm Dale Edwards, and with me I have Brian House, Vice President of Beef Programs of Select Size in the United States. Welcome, Brian.
Thanks, Dale. Good to be here.
Why don't we jump into our first bull that we want to take a look at here, Brian? I guess when this bull first came across the radar, we saw the initial picture, I guess, and straight away I thought, oh, this bull looks interesting. I guess once you start to study the bull a little more, he's a bigger type of bull, a 6+ frame bull. He has great structure. He's a real free moving type of bull. He has a tremendous amount of thickness to him. His EBVs really jumped out at us. He's got a lower birth, but he's got tremendous growth. He tops out all of the growth predictors in the top 1% of the breed. Just the type of bull I think that we have to have in our program. What are your thoughts on Crawford Guaranteed, Brian? I really think this bull has a bit of a future.
Here's an outcross pedigree for a lot of people. One that was not a big familiar piece of our program, and you described it very well, but one of the things that sticks out for me is how much top and how much rump this bull has. You can sort of see it in the picture, but in the flesh, it's pretty evident. And in the world of Angus, one of the things that I find is it's pretty easy to see, but a lot of people don't look at it, is width of base. This bull would be well above average for width between his legs. So when he's moving, when he's out and about, there's a lot of power here. You mentioned that. So you look at the numbers. Yes, they're there, but the bull displays those numbers in his phenotype because there's some top, there's some muscle, there's some width, there's some shape. Medium-sized kind of bull that puts a lot of things together, and it's on the slide. It talks about his pedigree, his performance, and his phenotype. But it's hard to find those kind of bulls that have all those things tied together, and here's one that does.
This next bull, Brian, I know you and I spoke about this in the US when I was there last. His number set is extraordinary. He's seen heavy use here in Australia now, and I think he's going to see even more use again this spring. You can see there by his EBVs, he just tops out every growth trait, every index. Still, just a tremendous looking bull. That new photo, I think, shows how kind-headed he is, docile he is.
He brings a few extras that not all of our bulls have, and in our U.S. EPDs. But this would be one of the highest bulls we have for heifer pregnancy EPD, and we're starting to have enough data to make more of us believers in what that trait tells us. So that's a big plus. So not only can you talk about a bull, it's this high for growth or this good for carcass, but you add some little extras that gives him a boost in the cow herd making part, and it makes him pretty special. And this is, Dale, we're talking about travel or the lack thereof, because this last year has kind of put a damper on some of our travels. I just happened to be in Tennessee last week with 2 of our test herds, and there's Trailblazer daughters, and these would be some of the oldest ones in the country. These are long yearling daughters that I would say my description of them, they are stunning. Yep. And I used a whole bunch of different bulls in this herd, and I saw a dozen or 15 Trailblazer daughters, and they were easily the award winners in the group. So I was very happy in what the bull does. They're attractive, they're clean, they're upheaded, they're fresh looking, they got ample rib. I would call them medium sized in terms of frame. They got around and traveled like they're supposed to. I'm not going to say they're the thickest cattle we've ever worked with, but they're sure adequate in that regard. So I think for people that like to eyeball cattle, and you look at this picture of this bull, he kind of does that in his offspring.
Yeah. The thing that comes to mind with this bull, Brian, for me is customer satisfaction. You know, we just constantly get feedback on this bull. You know, they're the heaviest weaned calves there. You know, can we get male sex semen in this bull, because the steers are so much heavier than all the other, the contemporaries in their group. This next bull, Brian, is a kind of a new bull for us. Again, he's a bit of a showstopper in his looks. He's a pretty funky looking bull. So once we saw this bull, I thought we probably needed to bring him into our program as well. And sure enough, once his EBVs have come through the system, as you can see there, straight away, lower birth, but again, tops out all of the growth traits, top 1% carcass weight, top 1% retail beef yield, top 1% all indexes. So, this bull's really hit the mark on the numbers here in Australia.
I think for me, one of the things that sticks out for this bull, when we first saw him, I thought maybe he was going to be a little bit bigger bull. But I got a chance to get by and see him early this spring, and this bull sort of topped out at that low to mid 6 frame. And not only did he top out on stopping his frame growth, he filled out. So there's a lot more bull here than there was a year ago. He's kind of a brute. I mean, he's got some muscle, he's got some shape, and he didn't go ahead and extend his frame. He stopped, and then he'd look at the numbers and say, my gosh, here's a bull that's got the right size. He's got a unique pedigree. He's got a good look, and then he's got performance out the wazoo. And I think, wow, I better just use this bull.
Yeah, this bull's figures are crazy. I mean, look at his gestation length. Minus 10.4, top 2%. I mean, you got a bull with that much performance, but you could throw this bull into heifers. I mean, he's a bull that a lot of people should probably look at this spring for sure. This next bull, Brian, now this is a bull that really gets us excited here. Breed that can match this bull's numbers at the moment. I think we have to read them out when you have a look there. Top 1% for all calving traits. Calving ease direct, calving ease daughters, gestation length, birth weight, top 1%. Then you go to his growth numbers, top 3%, 1%, 3%. So you've got a bull in the absolute top of the breed for every calving ease trait that still sits in the top 3% for all the growth traits. I mean, that's almost unheard of. And then you go across to his other numbers, his top 1% carcass weight.
This is a new bull for all of us in the way we use a bull. We will learn a lot more a year from now as far as what this bull's able to do. And I've plugged him into, I don't know how many herds, but he would have semen already out in 10 or 12 of our progeny test herds to find out what he can do. I guess the part that gets me excited, Dale, is I look at the pedigree and I don't see with that combination of the pedigree, all these numbers rising to the levels where they're at. And it seemed like he rang all the bells for a lot of these traits. And so his calving ease, you've already mentioned, then the high growth, then we add marbling to it. And we've got, my gosh, where did all this come from? Well, strong cows, good breeding program, diligence in the way they go about business. What I really like about this bull is he is a square, straight line bull that puts his legs underneath him on all 4 corners like he's supposed to. And that tells me that there's probably some longevity and some things built into that. Then you got this cow family that's pretty strong too. So I'm thinking, here's a bull that's got the numbers, but he can probably do a great job building a cow herd as well.
Okay, this next bull, Brian, I know this is probably one of your favourite bulls. Low birth, really solid growth, big carcass numbers, probably as big as you'd find, big selection index numbers. Just a really, really, really good bull. And then you go and have a look at that new photo that you can see there. And we've got early calves on the ground here in Australia now, and all the reports are the calving is definitely real. They're popping out real easy.
One of the things that Dale, I really appreciate about this bull is the fact that he's not real big. And I know some people would say, my gosh, what are you telling us that for? Well, he does all these special things with growth and carcass and calving ease and all the things that we want, but he doesn't make our cows have to get way bigger. So in a world when sustainability and those type of things seem to be buzzwords, here's a bull that gives us an awful lot, but he doesn't make our cost of production have to go with it just because our cows grew bigger. So the numbers speak for themselves, but part of what I'm excited about in this bull's future is the fact that about anybody can use him and get the good ones because the phenotype's there, but I can look at him making very useful cows that stay under control for size, but have as much carcass merit, as much premium bred in as any bull we can offer.
Yeah, sure. Was he your top seller in the US last year, Brian, or damn near?
We can look at it different ways. In terms of total dollars, yes, he was. Yep. Yes, he was. And so it looks like that's going to continue. And Dale, in saying that, part of the reason that continue is now the customers have calves and there's more talk about him and more people are learning about him, then the market's just expanded. So it's not just the first set of people. Now it's the first set of people plus their friends. So
this next bull, Brian, I know he's an Australian bred bull, and I know you definitely heard about this bull last year, Texas Power Play. So he was the $108,000. This bull caused a lot of interest in Australia last year, and I know a lot of interest around the world. And he is a very, very special bull. When you get in that, what I love about this bull, when you get in the pen with him, he just mopes around. He's extremely docile. And the first thing that everybody says is when they get in the pen with this bull is just how clean fronted, how clean made he is through the head and the neck, and for such a big, powerful bull. So you could safely use this bull on heifers, no problem at all. His birth weight's actually dropped down to 1.8, but still really, really strong growth. Just one of those special bulls that doesn't come along very often. Out of what probably grabs you as well is just how strong the maternal line is on this bull. His dam is a really, really beautiful cow, and then his grand dam is just probably one of the matrons of the Angus breed in Australia.
I actually, when you sent that video a year ago, it's like, my gosh, there is a very impressive bull. You don't care what color he is, don't care what breed he is. He's a very impressive bull, and he glides on the move.
Yeah, he's super sound-footed, and he does a lot of things right. So I think what you've said is spot on. I don't think I've ever seen one person see that video of this bull and not go, wow, that's a bull. So these are two new bulls. We don't have semen in Australia yet. We have obviously ordered semen. I've never seen a bull ever with an IMF score like this in the US and particularly in Australia. As you can see there, he's 5.7, top 1%. And this is close to his first run. So, he could easily go over a 6. He doesn't suit everybody, but those guys that are after those, high-end carcass traits, then I just can't see how you could. There's no other bull in the breed, is there, with the carcass traits this bull offers?
So in a value-based system where the highest marbling wins the contest and makes you the most money, then bulls like Transcendent definitely have a place. Not only does he have a place in the marbling world, he's got a place in the calving ease world and in the growth world and the size of keeping my cows under control and all those things. But if I want to push the envelope on carcass quality and say, yes, I can consistently raise the highest grading cattle available. These are the kind of bulls that get that done.
All right, let's move on to the last bull, Brian. And another really high carcass merit bull, I guess, in HPCA voracious. We don't have Australian numbers on this bull yet, but we will soon enough, I guess. So I guess if you're happy to run through the EPDs.
Today is not bred to be a heifer bull. That's where he starts. But he does offer the high levels of growth. And maybe the biggest reason for us to pursue this bull is what he does on the carcass side of things with figures. And I think the other day when I looked, there is not another bull in the U.S. database that puts the numbers together for carcass, for IMF, and for ribeye like this bull does. There would not be another bull that could beat him for those figures. And that's part of the reason you bring bulls like this in, just like Transcendent. We're pushing the envelope on a trait that adds value or traits that add value. And this is a great example. One of the things that this bull brings that not every one of our bulls can say, there's a Sunrise cow behind this bull that is a tremendous cow. And I'm pretty familiar with Sunrise daughters and what they can do in a cow herd, and they're good. And so I'm excited that here's a bull that we brought in to be a carcass mover and shaker. But at the same time, for those people that want to say, you know what, I'll probably get some females too. What do I do with them? Well, you know what you do with them? You make cows out of them, and you make good cows out of them. So voracious offers a lot of things for a lot of people. But again, not a big bull in terms of frame, but kind of a big bull in terms of his numbers, kind of a big bull in terms of his pedigree, with Identified as his sire and Sunrise as the bottom side, and a bull that's probably a little different from a pedigree standpoint, Dale, from what a lot of people have been using.
Two new cutting edge bulls that I think, I guess Select Sizes, I guess that's why we love working with Select Sizes, because these are the sort of cutting edge bulls that we know you guys are going to keep bringing in. And well, that probably wraps us up, Brian. I guess I'd just like to say thanks, Brian, for the chat today. Really enjoyed it. And I hope everybody out there enjoyed our presentation tonight.
We run 520 Angus breeding cows. Both our sons work for us. They're skilled operators on most machinery and that now, and they're really good around the cattle because they've been doing it since they were small kids.
Back in my happy place. It's a balmy 9 degrees, a cold southwesterly wind, keeping my beer lovely and cold. Sure, a lot more relaxing this year compared to last year. Man, who could forget the ordeal of trying to get across a hard border into New South Wales.
Annie, these ABS at catch-ups are really good.
Absolutely, Bill.
I wonder where Fletch is. He told us to be down here at the lake to get ready.
Yeah, well, it's
did he say
3:45.
Did he say 10 o'clock?
I think so. Who knows where he is?
See, what time is it here? About 2.
Jeez.
So he's 4 hours late, but then, that's not unusual, I suppose.
Well, I guess being stuck down in Victoria, locked up, it sent him a bit loopy.
No. Anyway, where's Fletch? Come on, Fletch.
Oh, Bill! I've got a big one!
Boy, oh boy, you certainly have. Here, let me come over. Keep on pulling. I'll get the net ready. I've got the net. Whoa! What's that?
Hey guys! Hello! Hey, see!
Fletch, what the hell are you doing?
Bill! You got no idea! They closed the borders! I had to swim here! I've been swimming for a week!
For goodness sake, Fletch, get yourself dry. We've got another episode of Talking Bull to do.
Yeah, Bill, hi. Yeah, no, I've been a bit flat out. Yeah, no, I didn't get a chance to watch it, I've just been flat out. Yeah. Okay, bye. Hello and welcome to the 2021 Angus Australia Bull Night. My name's Fletch Kelly and I'm joined by Annie Pumper and Bill Cornell. And we are, of course, from ABS Australia Beef, and we're very excited to be with you tonight.
Wow, what an exciting time to be within the agriculture industry, and more importantly with ABS.
Exactly, Annie. And I've been involved in this industry now for 50 years, and never have I seen such a great lineup of Angus bulls to suit all environments and all different types of programs. Terminal, maternal, to your environment.
So let's get right into it.
The first bull we wish to talk to you about tonight is Millamurra Power Trooper. He really needs no introduction. He does everything. Calving ease, shape, growth, docility, structure and scrotal size. He's been our biggest selling bull for the last 18 months at ABS Australia, and that includes all the dairy bulls as well. That's never been done before. If you want to use Paratrooper, please book on early, because the semen sales are going to just keep on keeping on. And Paratrooper even has his own mug.
Our next bull for the night is one of my favourites, Landfall New Ground N90. A bull that has rocketed up the sales ladder over the last 12 months in both commercial and seed stock sales. New Ground is a long-spined, deep-bodied, thick bull who stands on great feet and legs and has an excellent disposition. His EBVs are equally as impressive. He's 4 for birth, right out to 140 for 600 days. A staggering 6.3 for scrotal, top 1%. Top 2% for docility at plus 30. Look at his carcass attributes. Good EMA and plenty of IMF at 3.3. Recently at Landfall in the autumn sale, over 40 sons sold for a combined average of $16,500. And they're very, very impressive progeny across the board. Let's hear what Frank Archer, principal at Landfall Angus, had to say about this cracking bull.
New Ground N90 was a bull we selected for use in the Landfall herd as a yearling. His impressive phenotype, sire appeal and outlier performance, coupled with the fact that he comes from one of Landfall's highest quality female lines, the Elsa line, gave us confidence to use the bull extensively in our artificial breeding programs. He was then sold in 2019 to Absolute Angus and ABS Australia for a record Tasmanian price. Now we have 2-year-old daughters, just had their first calves hit the ground. In an autumn period that we were tight for feed and our maiden heifers were under pressure, his daughters proved to be easy doing. The first drop of New Ground sons was sold in March this year. 41 bulls were catalogued and 41 were sold to an average price of $16,000 in an overall sale average of $11,500. We see New Ground bringing positives to a breeding program such as docility, length of body, width, depth and positive early growth. He's a really well balanced sire that is going to offer consistency of breeding.
Banquet Quarter Pounder, Q252. A lot of people have asked us, why did you call him Quarter Pounder? Well, like every good Quarter Pounder burger, this guy is stacked with meat and he has tremendous softness, just like those buns on a Quarter Pounder that we all love. For those that love to review pedigrees, Quarter Pounder is actually solid gold. If you go back through his pedigree, you can see that he's actually got 4 crosses of the Kiwi Dream M41 cow, who's a matriarch to so many of the Great Angus cattle, including actually being the granddam of the Dream Y301 cow. He also has 4 crosses of the famous Hingai 469 bull. So this really is a pedigree loaded with great banquet ancestry and features. Please get in early with your Quarter Pounder orders. Semen has now been released to the seed stock sector, both domestically and internationally, and we expect that demand will be very high this spring, so please get in early. Another bull that we've got for you tonight is another bull that doesn't need a lot of introduction. His name is Sit Stella, a US bull that is immaculate for his foot structure. Not only great for feet and legs, but just introduces so much power, thickness, phenotype and bone back into our program. A bull that's been heavily used over the last 6 to 12 months in Australia in seed stock systems. A very maternal bull, but also has a really nice balanced set of EBVs. Importantly, he has low birth and very explosive growth. He sits in the top 1% for his US EPD, foot scores. He also sits in the top 1% for his Australian EBVs for foot structure. A bull that we brought in not only conventionally, but also in terms of sex semen, along with Baldridge Command, because we know the maternal quality and power that's in this bull. We've seen some tremendous results using Sexcel beef semen, not just with Baldridge Command, but also using Sex Stella. Let's hear what Christian Hickey from Phoenix Park Angus in Rochester, Victoria, had to say about his results of using Sexcel Stella.
Yeah, thanks Fletch. Good to be with you here. My name's Christian Hickey, Phoenix Park Angus up in Northern Victoria. Really pleased with the results. We joined 9 heifers to sex semen, got 5 pregnancies. Joined 9 heifers went to embryos, we got 5 out of them. And 4 heifers got conventional semen, got 3 pregnancies out of that. Interestingly, I also used conventional on some cows, so we got 7 pregnancies out of 9. And interestingly, flushed 2 cows to one to Sex Stella and one to conventional. Got 7 out of 8 on the conventional BT equator cow, and got 6 out of 6 sexed embryos out of a cow bought from Anvil. Now, they're the best doing calves I've had in the property for several years. They got some great shape to them. They just grow like rockets. And on the strength of what I've seen this year, definitely using more again this year.
Our HCR, or High Conception Rate program, Bill, is something that we're extremely proud of at ABS. What started as a bit of a side project for us has developed into a core pillar of our business for both our seed stock and our commercial clients. We're very proud at ABS to have collected around 50,000 preg test results from right around Australia over a variety of bulls from a variety of herds. Bill, bulls like Murder Duke Kicking are doing an outstanding job. We've now been able to rank a lot of our bulls into gold, platinum and silver rankings, and bulls like Murder Duke Kicking just kicking goals.
Absolutely, Fletch. And what Kicking does is he brings to the table high conception rate, so people are getting plenty of calves.
Yep.
They're born super easy. He's in the best 10% of the breed for calving ease and birth weight, but then they grow.
They do.
You know, top 20% for growth, but then they're super quiet and docile. So if you're a commercial fella, you want to get lots of calves,
yep,
born easy, grow and quiet, and he's the masterclass.
Absolutely. So if you're interested in getting an extra 3 or 5 or even 10 extra calves for every 100 that you join, you need to be talking to us about proven high conception rate HCR bulls.
Millamara Coyote Q96 is my favourite maternal bull. Let's have a look at this bull's masterclass pedigree for maternal strength. His sire, Chisholm 255, one of the better USA maternal bulls kicking about. His dam, Blossom 0278. Now we flip to Coyote's dam, Brenda N8. In my opinion, one of the greatest young Angus dams going around. And her dam, L73, sold for 30 grand at the last Millamara sale. The Grand Dam H49 is Lockup's dam. Add into the mix Clooney as N8 sire and his dam, the fabulous Prue H4, one of the most famous Emperor daughters. And the icing on the cake is Coyote's full sister, Brenda Q30. I doubt any Angus bull can give you the maternal strength and the magnificent cow lines behind what he has. Now you throw in his early growth, his scrotal size, docility and superb carcass, and then we also know that he has EU semen now that's available for global distribution. This bull will have a global impact. GB Fireball, certainly the pick bull on the 2019 USA Tour. And his EBVs have just continued to grow and grow and grow. I doubt any bull in Australia can match his calving ease, low birth weight, high growth, all in the top 10% of the breed, and that his carcass, EMA, IMF, top 1% of the breed. All that said, are people excited about the calves? They are sound, they look fantastic, but don't just let me tell you about this. Let's go and see what other breeders have to say.
Fireball progeny phenotypic integrity, structural integrity, balance data, calving ease, shape, which is a unique attribute with high carcass merit cattle. I think he's the next 036.
Hi, Erica Halliday here from Ben Nevis Angus. I'm here to talk to you about our Fireball calves. We use Fireball over some earlier maturing type of cows. We wanted to fold in a little bit more marbling and add a little bit of softness, put his skin in there, and the results have been fantastic and quite surprising to us. What we were really surprised about was how much extra thickness that the Fireball calves had in over their top, out through their hip and then down through their lower thigh. As well as that, they've actually transmitted that lovely softness of skin, and we're really excited about them.
We're obviously one of the first ones to use Fireball in the country, and after seeing him on inspection with Bill, I thought he was a pretty complete bull, and after touring with the cattle we've seen here today, I think he's done a really consistent job for us in both the bulls and the females. As far as a bull, it's being low birth weight, still being high growth, having carcass merit with EMA and IMF. I think he's ticked a lot of boxes, and the proof in the pudding has been the evenness of the calves we've got here, that have also got the phenotype and the data to back it up. I think Fireball's a broad spectrum bull. We've used the bull for heifers as well as cows, and I think he's done a great job across the whole herd. So he's a multi-purpose bull, and for me, there hasn't been the cull rate on them. Every single one of them is in the top percentage of the drop, and a very even drop of calves. So we're big advocates for the bull.
Well, thanks Angus Breeders for those comments, and I'm sure all of you will want to get into Fireball. He's certainly going to be a go-to bull for 2021.
Cluny Range Queenslander Q311, a bull that Bill and I fell in love with on a trip up to northern New South Wales in July 2020. His maternal integrity, going back to Legends Dam, made him a must-have bull within our stable. Going back to beast mode as well, for sure the best beast mode somewhere found here in Australia. Queenslander also offers a data set that has moderate birth weight, calving ease, short gestation, and a growth that goes out to 141 for 600 days.
Cluny Range Queenslander Q311 is a bull that we've got a lot of time for. By beast mode out of J81, who's the same dam as Cluny Range Legend, we feel that he's just got that raw power, great butt shape, he's tremendous across the top line, just got real capacity and engine room up front, big heart girth, and that's what he's all about, this bull. He's got a great data set, he's calving ease, low birth weight to a good spread of 133 for growth, he's 7+ for EMA, a 2.6 IMF, basically positive fat, and that's what you see when you look at the bull. He's a bull that will moderate frame a little bit, but he will really put punch into cows. We've used him heavily here on heifers, and reports on really good studs like Nan Park that have got heifers calved to him already with no problems at all. They've just come out really easily, and plenty of growth in them after they've hit the ground. So reports early are that he's definitely a heifer bull. As I said, we use him on heifers ourselves, but we've also used him on a number of cows. Just those sort of bigger frame cows that just need a bit more thickness put in them, and this is really the type of bull that will do that. Last year, Queenslander was inseminated to about 900 heifers in a program that we were involved with in the north. They're going to hit the ground really only a month or so away from hitting the ground, and that'll be exciting to have that many calves hit the ground at once. We'll get full feedback on those progeny, which will be exciting. Will be compared to a couple of other leading bulls of ours, and he's just the type for that northern industry. He's got exactly the right maturity pattern for that. Really good skin type. Deep, easy doing, he's got perfect feet structure. We think a lot of him. We're going to use him heavily again this year ourselves over heifers and over cows through AI and naturally, so we highly recommend him and think he's got a great future. We'd like to see him used in right across a number of studs throughout the industry as well.
Well, that wraps up the Angus Australia Bull Night for 2021 for ABS. Please stay up to date on all of our social media platforms and tag us in progeny photos for your chance to feature.
And we thank Angus Australia for the opportunity to be involved in the Bull Night. We thank all the breeders that have been involved in the video and also watched this section. And in mid-September, please tune back in for the famous ABS Bull Talk, where we're featuring our new young sires both in Australia and from overseas.
Sustainability is a buzzword that gets thrown around the red meat industry a fair bit at the moment, but ABS are dead serious about being sustainable for the future of Australia's beef industry. We firmly believe that our genetics are really suited to the modern world. They don't only excel in terms of their EBVs, but more importantly in terms of their phenotype, their maternal depth, their structural integrity. So thanks again for joining us tonight, and we'll see you again very soon.
We are the Neogen Australasia team.
And we're Australia's only local genomics lab.
With team members all over the country.
We have been helping Angus breeders get the best from their animals since the adoption of DNA testing.
We're proud to support your benchmarking testing.
And looking to the future with you, with tests like our new Heifer Select.
Even at times like these when the world has gone a little crazy.
We're still testing samples and sending results every day.
So get in touch to discuss how genomic testing can take your herd to the next level.
One sample, one simple comprehensive solution.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Nigel Simmons from Genetics Australia. A great pleasure to have you here for the Angus Spring Bull Night. Thanks to Angus Australia for hosting this great event again. It's been an exciting year in the beef industry. We're coming off a year of record sales. We've recently had a record bull price. So it's been a fantastic year for everybody involved. To that extent, Genetics Australia are pleased to announce this year we've brought a new staff member onto our team. John Gomez has joined our team. He's going to be working in the southern Victoria, South Australia and Tasmania regions for us. John, just like to welcome you to the team, and it's a great pleasure to have you on board. He's here somewhere. I'll just go and find him. Oh, John, there you are.
Well, what do you mean? I thought this was part of the job description.
Oh, no, the rumours aren't true, mate. We've got a bit of work to do.
Oh, righto. Well, better pack her up then, I guess.
Righto, let's get to it. John, in all seriousness, it's a great pleasure to welcome you to the Genetics Australia team. You'll be a valuable member to our entire team, and we really look forward to the presence you'll have in those regions and you working with our customers down there. Now, what we have here, John, is also our Q-Mate applicator of truth. So this is what we use for a lot of our interviews. If we don't tell the truth, we don't really want to know what's going to happen here. But it's great to be involved with Vetquinol and the Q-Mate team there as well. We thank them for all their support.
115,000 I sell it once. Price $215,000. Quickly, he's going to go quick. 20, 220, 220. Yes! 5. Have you count the fingers? 225. Leave your boots on, please. 220. We're going to ruin our golden month. I'll be $225,000, sir. 225. You're a sleeper, Pete. You never told us. I'll be 225. 225,000. But I said once. Price. Hold on at $225,000. He's going to miss. Hold on at 225. Victory. Is it bidding? Hold on.
John, you couldn't have picked a more exciting time to join the Genetics Australia team. Along with yourself, we have another exciting member joining our team, and that is Texas Iceman R725. For those of you who don't know, Iceman was the record-breaking bull that sold at the Texas Angus sale a couple of weeks ago. He sold to Macca's Pastoral for $225,000. Genetics Australia appreciate the great opportunity to form a partnership with Macca's and market semen from Iceman on their behalf. It's a great opportunity. He's a young sire that deserves to be promoted and used across the country. I think he'll do a lot of good. He's a sire that's gentle in nature. He's fault-free. He's got that real presence about him. He walks perfect. He was a standout of the crop of bulls that were sold in the Texas sale this year. But apart from being an outstanding individual, he writes a great data set. 3.2 on birth weight, up to over 140 on 600 day, over 12 on EMA, positive on fat. Ticks all the boxes there as well. But more importantly, he's backed by a great cow family in the Texas Undine cow. She sold over 18 sons in the Texas sales that have averaged $37,100. She's had a great influence on that herd. She's got about 15 other daughters that are in production through that program as well. She's going to have a great impact on the breed in Australia. Genetics Australia are real honoured to have Iceman as part of our team. We will stress he's going to be in very high demand, so anybody that's interested in using Iceman this spring, autumn next year, contact us and register your interest with us now, and we can add you to the list to use him. But John, it's a great time to be in the Angus breed in the AI industry when you've got such a young sire like Iceman to bring to the industry.
Absolutely, Nigel. I mean, for people who follow the breed on a global basis, would be well aware that of the influence the Poss Maverick's having on the breed in North America. He's a bull that has that great spread of data, puts lots of marbling into the cattle, but importantly, he maintains that phenotype we all like to see, and it's being shown in the results. At the Poss sale this year in the US, our son topped the sale at just a tick over 1.15 million Aussie dollars. So I just think for anyone who hasn't had an opportunity to sample that bloodline, which there hasn't been many opportunities at the moment, this is really the perfect bull. Another thing that's become very apparent in talking to plenty of people that got a chance to see the bull at Ben and Wendy's sale was that the key thing that's been coming out in conversations is how hard it is to fault the bull. He's just very, very sound all around the board. Lots of presence, lots of style, and like you said, just a great data set in behind that. So, we're super pumped to have him in the team, and can't wait to get people sampling him in their herds.
Yeah, no, he's going to get a lot of use. Macca's themselves are going to be using him extensively in their large commercial operation. Orders have been flowing in steadily for the bull since the sale. He just wraps up a great package of awesome phenotype, docility, EBVs that are breed leading. It's really hard, like you said, really hard to fault this young sire. So we really encourage people that if you're interested in using Iceman, to get in contact with us and register your interest. Now, one of the first bulls we're going to talk about tonight comes from down in your neck of the woods. That's Chilton Park Quantum. He's a Baldridge Beast Mode son out of a Lawson's Invincible. He's a young sire that was a standout in his contemporary group. He was an outlier for growth, but yet he records great calving ease, exceptional short gestation length, great low birth weight to growth spread with really good carcass numbers. He walks really well, got a real good square end on him, nice deep body. We're really pleased to have him part of our team, and I think he should do well down in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, he's a very exciting young bull coming through. I mean, what probably really impresses me about him is that that shape that he's got for a bull with those sort of carcass numbers. Beast Mode son at 7.5 or so on EMA is really exciting for the industry, and he's got that really nice birth to growth spread as well. So I think he's all but positive, all positives, I should say. Going forward, I think he's a really exciting young bull, and we can't wait to see the progeny start hitting the ground.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting to see that. We'll have some of the first progeny next autumn. We'd like to put a big shout out to Pete and Barb Young at Chiltern Park. Thanks for the opportunity to be able to work with Quantum as well. We really appreciate it, and glad to have him part of the Genetics Australia team. In the autumn, we picked up a young sire by the name of Dunoon Quiet Achiever. He was purchased as a top-selling bull in the Dunoon Autumn Sale by Waitara Angus. He's a Rennie Lee All 519 son. He offers some great growth and some exceptional carcass data. He's used in the Dunoon program naturally last spring, so he have some calves being born at Dunoon at the moment. We're pretty excited to have him coming into the team this year.
Yeah, he is a really exciting young bull. I mean, it's very, as many of you would know, it's very hard to get a bull to, on the performance data side, to produce that high EMA and high IMF. He does both exceptionally well. 11 for EMA, up over 4 for IMF. Really hard to find bulls in the industry that do those things together. So, if you're looking to add some carcass in one generation, he's going to do that quick smart.
Yeah, he certainly will. And, you do a search on the Angus database, it's pretty hard to find a young sire that combines such good growth, excellent carcass figures, and on top of that, he's got some very good feet EBVs as well. So he sort of wraps it all up into a real nice, neat package.
Absolutely.
Mate, you might be aware, one of the top-selling bulls in the Genetics Australia program for the last couple of years has been Lawson's Momentus. He's a Momentum son out of Tasmania, Africa. He's been widely accepted in herds right across the country, commercial and seed stock programs. His cattle, they've got great body length, excellent feet on them. I think he ranks in about the top 20% on feed EBVs as well. But he wraps that up with an awesome carcass merit package as well. There's a number of sons being sold last spring, this autumn, and there's a number of sons coming up for sale this spring as well. He's one of the most dominant young sires in the Australian beef industry at the moment, and we're really, really looking forward to seeing how long impact he's going to have in the Angus herd.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to get to a few bull sales back in the autumn, and there was a lot of talk about Momentous and his sons, and for good reason. I mean, as you said, he puts genuine structural integrity into the cattle. He puts that beautiful data set alongside lots of body length, plenty of muscle. The exciting thing coming through now too is, to get some daughters in production and really see what they do. But, very confident that he's going to do it on that side as well. So he's just a bull that goes from strength to strength, and I think, he'll be a high use sire again this spring.
Yeah, I think he will be too. And yeah, you're right. The prospect of the sons and females are going to be bred out of the Momentous daughters is pretty exciting. On that too, we also have sex semen available on Momentous, so we have male and female semen available. So if that's something of interest to you, contact myself and John, and we can fix you up with some of that. John, while we continue on the theme of Momentum sons, another one exciting young Momentum son in our team is Kenny's Creek Pinnacle. He comes from a pedigree that's stacked with elite proven carcass merit. He's a Momentum son out of a Prophet daughter, then back out of the Duchess cow family from Kenny's Creek. He's one of our elite bulls for IMF in the Genetics Australia team. A lot of his first progeny have been born. They've been born real easy. They've been jet black. He's a pretty exciting sire. We'll have some more progeny and some scan data coming in from Pinnacle later this year.
Yeah, look, I mean, you know, like you say, he's an extremely exciting young bull in the program, and you know, what stands out to me, you know, is that IMF figure, you know, up well over 5, you know, very strong on the EMA as well, and you know, with that profit in the background, adds a lot of strength to the maternal side. So he's a really exciting young bull. You know, another exciting aspect to Pinnacle is we've got some sex semen coming through on him. So anyone who'd like to use the bull in that fashion, yeah, please get in touch with myself or Nigel, and we can certainly get you sorted with some sex semen on the bull.
John, one of the first Lawson's momentous sons to join our team's been Lawson's Miraculous Q44. He was a high-selling bull in Lawson's spring sale in 2020. You know, he offers the same sort of long body length that his sire offers, great feet and legs. His docility is very similar to his sire. You know, he's a bull that can go into a lot of commercial and seed stock operations. He offers a better calving ease than Momentous himself as well, still with a very similar, you know, nice birth to growth spread as well. You know, we're really excited to see where Miraculous is going. And we've also had a lot of interest in him for sex semen as well as conventional semen. So he's a great addition to our team this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you know, what stands out when you look at the performance data on the bull is the EMA number. Absolutely mind-blowing. You know, up over 19 for EMA. He would be well and truly in the top few bulls in the breed for that trait. So he's another bull that, you know, if you're looking to add some genuine shape and carcass into your cattle, he'll do that in one hit.
Yeah, he certainly will. He's a sire that I think will certainly add a bit of punch and muscle, and we'd like to thank the TRT pastoral team for giving us the opportunity to have Miraculous as part of the Genetics Australia team. I'm here today with Brad Kavanagh from Hardad Angus. Brad's the owner of Rennie Lee Kodak and an avid user of a number of Genetics Australia bulls. Brad, we've got the Q-Mate applicator of truth here, so we just like to get your opinion. You've had Kodak now for 5 years. He's done a great job. He was one of our top-selling bulls last year. You tell us what you really think of some of the best attributes to Kodak and how he's worked in your herd.
Yeah, thanks, Nigel. Well, Kodak's done a really good job for us on calving ease and structural soundness. So he gives the calves, you know, great length of body, length of neck, gives them a lot of balance and good feet. So they're structurally sound. They're big, they're athletic, they stride out extremely well. And on top of that, he's right up there in breed lead of marbling and rib and rump fat. So he's kind of given us a lot of softness to go with all the marbling and the structural soundness that he's given us. So the bulls have been really well accepted. You know, a lot of people chasing the calving ease cattle, you know, without losing the performance and without losing the type. So he's done an excellent job of maintaining all of that.
I'm here today with Jai Patterson from Hard Angus. Hard Angus are the owners of Millamurra Nectar, one of our popular Millamurra sires in the Genetics Australia catalogue. He's a Canamble Hector son. Jai, you had a pretty good sale this year. The Nectars seem to sell pretty well, but you know, more importantly, how's Nectar performing in your herd?
Yeah, Nigel. They were probably our best runner bulls there, and he's just real consistent. Like got the best of the yearlings this year. He's structurally very structurally sound, and he's probably the best part of it is his females. They just started calving, and they're probably always the pick all the way through. So really happy with the female side of things more than anything, and that's probably what you want more than.
Yeah, no, that's great to hear. You know, the sons were highly sought after, and it's great that the females are going to be long-term matrons in the Hard Angus herd. So thanks very much for your time today, mate.
No, all good, Nigel. Anytime.
John, one of the new young sires that joined our team in the autumn is Alpine Main Event. He's a Carew Main Event son, goes back to Reality. His paternal grandsire is Ardross and Equator A241. His maternal grandsire is Texas Hold'em, who is a brother to the dam of Texas Iceman, our new young sire, the Australian record Angus bull at the moment. Alpine Main Event offers some great calving ease and short gestation length, real balanced figures. What's your assessment of him been so far?
Yeah, look, you've done a nice job in sort of surmising what he does there, Nigel. You really love that birth to growth spread. Extremely short on the gestation, which obviously for stud and commercial customers is fantastic on the heifers. And you don't have to look too deep into his pedigree to understand why he's such a strong bull on the structural data, because it's just a pedigree that reeks, structural integrity. So, he's just a really exciting bull to have in the program.
Yeah, he sure is. Another young sire too, where we'll have sex semen available this spring for anybody that might be interested. John, one of the most popular bulls in our team in the last 18 months has been S. Chisholm 255, but more exciting than that is the young son we've got out of Chisholm 255, a bull called Millamurra Pepper. He was bought by JS Grazing in the 2019 Millamurra sale. Great bull for adding a bit of shape to the cattle. John, have you been doing your homework on our bulls? What's your assessment of this guy?
Yeah, no, look, I really like this young bull. I think everyone appreciates what Chisholm brings to the table in terms of that soundness and performance and overall shape and mass to the cattle. You add in Emperor on the dam side and that really, really strong Rado cow family at Millamurra. He's just a great all-round calving ease bull that puts that shape into his progeny and adds some nice performance. So he's certainly a bull that people should be considering.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ross Thompson's been sharing a few photos around of some of the Pepper progeny he's got up there, and they're looking pretty good, and we're really looking forward to see some of them come through the Millamurra program in the future. John, one of the young sires in our team that I think has a pretty exciting future ahead of him, I think we haven't seen the best of him yet, is Warrawee Patrol. He's a Pathfinder Genesis son out of an Airvale General. Exceptional good calving ease sire, short gestation length, with some excellent growth and balanced carcass traits. He's a young sire that's actually created a lot of attention with some of our international customers. He's about to enter into a large commercial progeny test program in New Zealand, and the Irish Cattle Breeders Federation, the ICBF, they've sampled him over there. They run a multi-breed genetic evaluation over there, and Patrol's actually come up the #1 indexing bull on their system across a magnitude of bulls from various breeds from all around the world. So it's pretty exciting, the potential in the genetics of Patrol.
Yeah, no, look, I'm really intrigued by this bull. I love my cow families, and that Taraku cow line, founded by Rob Crosby at Kansas, I believe is one of the great cow families. And you've got in behind his general mother, you've got a great W109 female, and then behind that a really, really good 036 female that was a donor for Rob. So for people that like to wrap up the performance data with great cow lines behind them, he's a perfect bull for that situation.
Yeah, he certainly is, and also another one of our young sires where he's part of our extensive team of bulls where we have sex semen available too. So if that's of interest, make sure you touch base with John and I, and we can get some sexed or conventional product to you. One of our sires that has been performing very well in the sale ring in the last 12 months, John, has been Top Boss Leading Edge L292. He's a Prophet son. Probably you're not your typical Prophet son. He offers a lot more power, a lot more size, bit out of frame to it. His sons are really big and square across the top. If anybody's been following the sales in the last 12 months, Leading Edge sons of Top Sales and Burrigal, Farah and Merrydale Angus. He's a sire that will certainly add some punch into the herds.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's hard not to appreciate what this bull brings. I mean, he just adds so much mass to his progeny. Love the rib shape, love the top in him. Long as freight trains. He's just if you want to put genuine performance in your cattle, it's very hard to go past Leading Edge.
Yeah, it sure is. And keep an eye out for him. He'll be available this spring in our commercial program as well. If you're looking for information on a number of our sires from the USA, Join myself and Aaron Arnett at the conclusion of the Spring Bull Night on the Genetics Australia Beef Facebook page, where we'll have an in-depth update on a number of the sires available from ST Genetics in Australia.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sophia Edwards from Vetiquinol Australia. As part of the Repro 360 project and proud partners of Angus Australia, we're here at the Spring Bull Night to bring you some information on how to manage your AI program this year. We understand you guys are here to look at the next and newest best Angus sires that might be available for your AI program. We understand that AI is an investment in the genetics of your herd for the future. Therefore, we've invited Dr. Penelope McGowan, a beef cattle reproduction specialist, to be able to give her tips and opinions on how to best run your AI program this year.
It really requires a fair bit of thought, and preparation is probably a good place to start. Those cows are going to calve. They're going to need a minimum of 60 days from when the last cow calves in order to allow their reproductive tracts to get back into shape again. And also remember, they're going to be under fairly high lactation stress during those 60 days, so they will need to be fairly closely monitored with regard to getting the right nutrition. They need to be in a forward score at least 3 at the time of the AI program. So they'll probably, if you're doing really well, they will calve in that condition or better, but they won't stay there. So just keep really close tabs on their nutrition. They may require a fresh paddock, they may require some supplement, they may require lick, depending on where you are and what you have available. It's pretty intensive when it comes time for the program. So the cows that have a better temperament, have been through the yards plenty of times before and haven't shown any adverse reaction to it, they're going to be the mob of cows that you're going to maximise your results with. Preparation, probably selecting genetics. If you are doing heifers, you need to look at the genetics you're going to use over those heifers. It's going to be their first calf. We don't want to end up with dystochias, and we don't want to end up with major problems at calving when you get that far. The second point with semen is if it's not in your tank at your yards or at your place, then you don't assume that the freight is going to get it there in a timely manner. We've had way too many disasters. It's not unusual for shippers to go dry and lose everything. Your injectable hormones, the other really important part about them is storage. There is a cold chain supply. They will come from wherever they come from, and you will be safe that they've arrived. Check that they're cold when they arrive. It is quite safe to store those products at, say, room temperature in the fridge, and that would be my recommendation. Needles are cheap. The important thing is getting that injection into the muscle of that cow and not taking a whole pile of contamination and dust with you. So get that injection into that muscle cleanly, use a different needle for every cow. Factor in this whole program about putting an AI program together. I'm specifically talking about reproductive diseases. Have you had these diseases before? Do you test for these diseases? Are your cows in a closed herd? We need to look at the risk that your cows that are going into this program may have been exposed. Vaccination obviously is a way to be fairly accurately sure that you don't have the disease, and that's what we generally recommend for all AI programs, is to be up to date with vaccinations. We had a mob of AI cows that hadn't been vaccinated, but it was dry and they were being fed a ration through a self-feeder. Now, what we didn't know, and we didn't find out until later on when we started testing, is that the pigs were also joining them at the feeder, and these cows were full of lepto. So we're looking at a 25-30% conception rate. Now, that is a really, really bad result from the farmer, and it could have been avoided with the vaccinations. So we come to the program. Be sure that you have your protocol in front of you. Be sure that you put it into a calendar. Be sure that you are all over it, and that you're not going to miss the times and the days that you need to treat, and the drug, the hormone that you need to treat with. So really important that the bulls are secure, and if you can't control your bulls, or you can't make your bulls that secure, keep the cows in a yard for that period of time. if you have an issue, if you look at your diary and you missed an injection, or if you've given an injection early and whatever it is, it happens. It's human nature. But please be in communication with whoever it is that's supplying the program and the protocols, whether that's back to your AI tech, back to your vet, back to Vetaquinol, and we can generally adjust things so that we can make this program work. The protocol is the protocol. Please don't cut corners, Even things like the heat patch which you put on, we need to have that, even though in our particular case we scan every ovary and look for a follicle at AI time. We need to see that those Estrotec heat patches are going off during that time. Have a look at them when they're on heat. Don't stick them out in the holding paddock and forget about them until the next day. Just attention to detail. It's a big investment on your part. It's really important to have a good vet crush that has a kick gate and has a vet box at the back. Not only from a safety perspective, but again from a timing perspective and for a low stress, improved welfare outcome. Have yards that have water in them, good clean water that they can access, that all of them can access easily, and enough space in that yard that you can have hay available and they've got place to sit down and be happy. One thing I can say, and again I can't measure it, but happy cows seem to get very good results. Usually we say put your cover bulls out 10 days after you AI, so we are looking at a 65 to 75% take rate on your AI program, so that do the calculation. How many cows or heifers are likely to be cycling in that next window, and make sure there's enough bull power there for them. Again, artificial reproduction is not natural service, so we need to make sure that we don't spend all this time and effort in getting the nutrition right and getting the program right, and then just putting them out in the paddock and forgetting about them. Keep tabs on them, make sure they've got plenty of feed in front of them, plenty of energy, and do yourself a favour, go for a drive. 21 days, 20 to 23 days after that program, and you have a bit of a look there, see what's going on, and that'll give you a little bit of an insight into how you went with your program. Preg testing, generally we'll do that 6 weeks after the program. If you want to spin that mob around and re-AI, we can do an earlier preg test than that and start the next program at the time of the preg test.
Well, g'day everyone, and welcome to the Spring Angus Bull Night for 2021 for Breeder Genetics. Tonight, we're excited to show you some new sires we've got under our belt. We've got some updated pictures of the bulls. We've also got some progeny reports and all the goodness that comes with that. Since we last been speaking, a lot of good positive things have happened within the beef industry. We've seen records broken in the bull selling season, and we're only halfway through it, so who else knows what's to come. The Eckie has hit over $10. I remember getting really excited when it hit $6 not all that long ago. Most of Australia's seen vast seasonal improvements, and what's still exciting is Australian beef is still regarded as some of the best in the world, and what's really pushing us forward in that is our feedback and traceability of our product is the best in the world, and that's a really exciting space. One other thing that got me really excited happened in November last year, and this is what happened.
$82,000, I'm $92,000, I'm $92,000 next hill, I'm $92,000 men, I'm $92,000 mini, do $82,000, what a done.
That was Ben Nevis-Gene, the mother of the first bull I want to talk to you about tonight, Ben Nevis Newsflash. The first 2-year-old Newsflash bulls are for sale this year at Gilman Dyke Angus, and they're looking really impressive. A lot of length, a lot of sire appeal, a lot of constitution, and overall, they're a great draft of bulls. There's also some Newsflashes available up at Ben Nevis again this year. Newsflash has been able to transmit a great amount of thickness, muscle shape, and overall sire appeal and extension. If you're pretty fair dinkum about breeding females, Newsflash is a bull that you need to seriously consider. The next bull we want to roll into is a bull that is leading our all-time semen sales, and it's Nobleman N127. The first nobleman calves are now 12 months old, and it's easy to see why the phone is ringing with positive reports and large repeat orders. This is a bull that can work in some quite diverse and many different production systems. He's working really well in the straight bred Angus program, but I've also seen some fantastic progeny coming through in some crossbred commercial programs. It's easy to see why the phone keeps ringing about this bull. He's such a soft, easy-doing bull that's as quiet as a lamb, and with a birth weight at around that 0, a nicely fat, beautiful carcass data, dog quiet, it's easy to see why he's getting the use. The next bull I want to bring to your attention is Sterling Pacific 904. He came to our attention at the beginning of last year when he was named the Grand Champion Bull for the Cinders Bull Test for 2020. This is a bull that smashed that bull test on the basis that he had an outstanding ADG of 1.92 kilos a day. He had the highest ultrasound scoring points, and he then also weighed in at 674 kilos at only 12 months of age. He's out of Beast Mode's full flush sister, and Beast Mode certainly needs no introduction. The first progeny reports coming out of the US on this bull are really positive. The calves are deep, stout, square made, have a beautiful pattern to them, beautiful extension, beautiful front ends, and great amount of sire appeal amongst these calves. If you're really after a bull that has that extra performance, good feet, pure grunt, backed by the Isabel cow family, here's your man. This is a bull that has been selling out within the week that we get the semen. If you want this bull, get in touch now, otherwise forever hold your peace. The next bull I want to talk to you about is a bull we recently got a new picture of. It's Packer P130. This is a bull I recently re-inspected, and I was just blown away with his overall amount of body length and overall presence. This is a bull that's going to add a lot of softness, growth and overall performance to your herd. He's backed by the Panda cow family, who also bred a bull we'll talk about in a bit called Monty. He's a really attractive package. He's a bull that's going to be able to transmit a lot of body length, a lot of growth, without getting our cattle too big. I think he's going to do a fantastic job of that. He's a bull, if you're wanting to add that little extra performance, presence, beautiful front end, he's a bull you want to be looking at. I want to introduce you to a new bull for us this spring. At the beginning of the year we went on a hunt, and we wanted to find a bull that could combine a really high level of calving ease, short gestation, short days to calving, low birth, and then just come out with the most explosive growth, combined with milk and a high-end carcass merit at the end of the day. But probably what was most important about this bull is he had to have a blend of both outcross and proven genetics. After much searching all around the world, we really believe we've found exactly what we were looking for. So, without further ado, I want to introduce you to Kelly's Angus Quinn Q209. As you can see here, his data is just unmatched within the Angus breed. That level of calving ease, short gestation, short days to calving, the low birth, then the growth, and then that end carcass merit, I think is just unmatched within the breed. Probably what's most exciting about this bull, he's got a big square ass on him, beautiful long extended front end on him, he's got a beautiful sire outlook, beautiful strength of spine, and he's just as quiet as a lamb. This is a bull that we really believe is going to have a lot to offer, not only in the commercial job, but also in the seed stock industry. Probably what else is really exciting about this bull is when you go and look at his research indexes, he really goes to the top of the breed for that. He's got his calves on the ground already, and they've been born at about 32 kilos and averaging about that 5 to 6 days early. The next bull I want to roll into is also a bull that has really excelled on the new research indexes. This is Musgrave Avenger. He himself was born at 32 kilos and then has a lot of added growth at the other end. This is a bull that has exceptional breed character, really good phenotype, but also such a balanced data set. It's pretty easy to see why he's getting a lot of uptake in the commercial industry. He's a bull that can add a lot of thickness and overall fleshing ability, and just the overall style and breed character of this bull is pretty well unmatched. I think this is going to be a bull that we're going to see a lot more of in the future. The next bull I want to have a yarn to you about is a bull that we've been calling Mr. Fix-It. This is a bull that has been having such consistent semen sales both here domestically and internationally. The bull is Karoo Realist N278. This is a bull that when you go and see just blows you away for how sound-footed he is, how free-moving, and just the overall presence and extension of this bull is really uncanny. It's hard to put such a correct bull, a docile bull, with a balanced data set together, and hence it's easy to see why he's been excelling in semen sales over the last 12 months. His first calves are now 12 months old and they're showing great thickness and being born early and having their size overall presence. If you're really looking for a bull to add functionality, fix a few issues, this is a bull you want to be looking at for sure. The other new bull I want to bring to your attention tonight is a new bull out of Canada. He's a little bit of an older bull, but he's the proven bull we've been looking for. He's got calving ease, low birth, and more importantly, he's got a faultless phenotype, introducing Belvin Panic Switch. This is a bull that comes out of the Belvin program. It's a really highly regarded program in Canada. This is a bull that combines the maternal strength from both the Lady Blossom and the Blackbird cow families. The Lady Blossom 1409 cow is a cornerstone dam within the Belvin program and a big part of the reason we sort of chased down this bull. This is a bull that's going to leave you with really functional females, but also be able to transmit a lot of muscle shape and phenotype into his progeny. A bull that is going to not only be able to work really well on heifers, but he's still going to have that extra grunt for your cows. There's a limited amount of semen coming in on this bull, and that's going to be it, with about half of it already gone. If you want to have a crack at him, let us know early. The next bull is a similar bull, but just adds that little extra power that we want. This is Monty M186. Monty is a really sound-footed bull with so much extra grunt, but also brings a little extra softness, and he'll also improve your scrotal on your cattle if you're looking to do that. His first sons have been sold, and they averaged 25,000 flat in the Nola Livestock sale recently, and also topped that sale as well. Sons are selling at Glen Isa next month, and the reports coming in from them are just phenomenal. So much muscling, so much performance, natural thickness, and still really sound-footed and free-moving cattle. If you're sort of looking to add that extra growth, weight, muscle, softness, and impeccable panda cow family, Monty does this hands down, no questions asked. This is the man you've been looking for. Look no further. So this now leaves us to the remaining two bulls of tonight. They're both coming out of the Baldridge program, and both of them are actually out of the same Blackbird AO30 cow. The first bull I want to talk to you tonight is a bull called Versatile. Versatile came onto the scene at the start of the year when he was the Lot 1 bull at the Baldridge production sale. He was also the highest scanning bull to ever come out of Baldridge, scanning a whopping 8.2% at only 12 months of age. His full flush brothers, there was 6 of them, then went on to average 64,000 in that sale. This bull really then gained a lot of traction a few months ago when his genomics came in. The phone did not stop ringing about this bull. Coming in at the 5.2 IMF was just something we weren't expecting, and it's certainly easy now to see why. I really challenge you to find a bull with that phenotype, that performance data, that amount of growth, that amount of spread, and then with an IMF of over 5, I'd love to see what you can put forward. The final bull I want to bring to your attention tonight is a bull that we've nicknamed Muscle and Marbling. It's none other than Baldridge Alternative E125. This is a bull that's creating a lot of traction now his first calves are on the ground. He's a bull that's been able to add so much thickness, so much strength of top, so much back. It is just unbelievable to see that when you look at his data, he's still at about a 3.2, around that 3 IMF. Probably what's got me more excited about this bull is the progeny and the sales that are happening in the US. He was the highest selling sire group at the Stevenson's Angus Bull Sale for the 2nd year in a row, plus their high selling bull for the 2nd year in a row. His full flush sister at the Reverse Rocking R Ranch made $100,000. He had the top priced bull at Sexton Genetics, the top priced at the Hoover Angus Genetics Sale, which it was a 2-month-old Angus heifer calf, nearly making $21,000. The top price female at the Four Sons female sale at $60,000 and $34,000. The top price female at Vintage, or VAR, at $135,000. There was also then a heifer made $85,000 and a heifer made $40,000. In total, the alternative progeny averaged $70,000 in a $20,000 average sale, over 3 times the sale average. At Clear Creek Angus, they topped at $57,000 and averaged $22,500. And lastly, there was the top price bull at the Hawaii in the fund sale for a 2/3 interest for $72,000 for a total valuation of $165,000. There's only about 250 units left on alternative, and it's quite possibly that's going to be it. With a lot of commercial orders coming in on this bull, if you want to use him, I suggest you get in quick because stocks won't last until the end of the spring. That wraps it up for me this evening, and if you've got any further questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch. We'll happily tell you the good, bad and ugly, and if we can help you use these bulls a little bit better, it's a win-win for everyone. Hopefully by the end of next week we'll have the Spring 2021 sire directory out, and we've got some interesting projects happening behind the scenes, and we're excited to release the start of that in this year's sire directory, so keep an eye out for that. We really want to thank Angus Australia for putting on this event this evening. We hope you really enjoyed it. Hope to catch up with you all soon. Cheers.
G'day everyone, Jake Phillips here, Breed Development Officer with Angus Australia. Well, I've got some exciting news. Together with our friends and partners at ACMEA Australia, I'm proud to announce that the ACMEA Gen Angus Future Leaders program is back for 2021, running between the 2nd and the 4th of November in Adelaide in South Australia. The ACMEA Gen Angus Future Leaders program is fast becoming a date in the calendar not to be missed, and considered by many to be perhaps the jewel in the crown of the expansive list of scholarships, awards and bursaries that Angus youth are able to provide with support from the Angus Foundation. The ACMEA Gen Angus Future Leaders program is a 3-day intensive program that has topics covered from some of Australia's leading presenters on things important to your business. Things such as mindset, finance fundamentals, risk and liability, insurance, marketing and communication, breeding and genetics, succession and resilience, and much, much more. Not to mention, over the 3 days, the fantastic opportunity to network with like-minded people and build a partnership that will last a lifetime. If you're an Angus Australia member aged between 18 and 40 years of age, we would encourage you to apply. Angus Australia, with support from the Angus Foundation, are proud to offer 10 positions to Angus Australia members for 2021, with the recipient receiving the course fees, accommodation and meals during the 3-day event fully covered. If you would like more information or to apply, please visit the Angus Australia website, keep a sharp eye on the social media channels, or give me a call, Jake Phillips at Angus Australia. I'm looking forward to seeing you there.
Welcome to the Agri-Gene Spring Angus Bull Night of 2021. Join us tonight. We're opening up farm gates all across the country to bring you unseen footage of Agri-Gene sires, some progeny and feed photos and stuff of bulls that you haven't seen before. Grab yourself a catalogue, get comfortable. We've got 20 minutes of Agri-Gene action coming right up for you. We're going to kick off our bulls tonight with our #1 semen sales bull at Agri-Gene in Chiltern Park, Mo. He's become a bit of a household name in the Angus breed now and setting himself up as a real fixer for the breed. He's got excellent docility, calming knees and excellent growth, offers tremendous value for commercial clients as well as stud guys, and in recent sales like Dalton and the famous Texas sale, the bulls were consistently $2,000 above the sale average. My boy Mo brings us to another bull out of exactly the same cow family, Chiltern Park Picasso. A bull offering a bit more length, a bit more muscle, beautiful slick skin like Mo, good feet, good docility, some calming ease data in the system now. He's setting himself up really solid on that calming ease, birth weight front with heaps of grow, and looks to do good things. I think, look, you expect the same sort of outcomes as Mo there, a little bit more performance on paper. If you're following along in the catalogue, over the page is a bull, Gar Ashland. He saw a heap of use on the back of our trip to the US in 2019 and continues to get good use now. He's a bull with exceptional growth, heaps of EMA and really deep-sided sort of cattle. He leads us into a son of his that was the cattleman's pick at the Texas sale last year, a bull called Texas Quantum Leap. He's a young bull that really offers a few things to tie us up that we like more in Australia to see, like those positive fats and exceptional at ground level, this bull. I think you'll see the new photo here and some feed photos as well. Really impressed. If you're not impressed by those photos, we maybe need to start again. But he's a bull I think can offer a lot of body, a bit of capacity, great set of data on paper as well as in the flesh. I think the cattle, the progeny will grow. We're seeing some calves now, and guys that have got calves are reordering semen and going again. So fills me with a bit of confidence on the bull, and I think you can have some confidence too with this Texas Quantum Leap. He's a step forward. Now, for a young bull, we did a lot of hunting to find after seeing his mother, who's a full sister to Beast Mode, back in 2017. We found this bull, Sterling Pacific. He's really set the world alight here for semen sales for us, and look forward to those progeny coming early, probably next autumn. He's a really stout, thick-made sort of bull, heaps of body, carries right through, maybe just protect him a little on tail head, but outside of that, this bull really does a lot of work and a lot of good things. He's awesome on paper, huge amount of growth, and I think he can do a lot for the Angus breed. With Beast Mode no longer available, this bull Pacific really opens up those doors again to get us back into that Y69 cow family and add a lot of carcass merit as well as phenotype and performance to the Angus breed. Moving on from Pacific, but another no doubt son with a very similar cow family back to Y69, and if you've got growth and power on your wish list, you need to feast your eyes on EG Eyes on You. Absolute rock star in terms of growth, top of the charts I think for Angus bulls in the breed in terms of growth. He's the #1 bull for 600-day weight. Really sets you up with a massive body, heap of capacity, long bull, bit more frame than Pacific. We're probably expecting another frame score out of this bull than Pacific, so up around a 7 to really lift those cattle up. If that's your market, that's your game, then this bull is something you really need to take a good hard look at. Sticking with big horsepower bulls, we've got Merridale Quack here. A name that's hard to say, but a bull that's real easy to look at. And we caught up with Scott, the purchaser of the bull over in South Australia. We're here at the SA Junior Heifer Expo, and I bumped into Scott Finlay from Granite Ridge, and I thought I'd give him a quick grilling and a couple of questions on a bull he purchased earlier this year in Merridale Quack here. He's a bull we identified through the young side program that we started this year, the Angus Talent Quest, that you might have seen. And Scott purchased him there at Merridale. What really appealed to you about the bull, Scott?
He's a very stylish bull. He's nice and deep. He's quite wide. He's got a fair bit of power and weight to go with it. So,
yeah. He's a pretty powerful, impressive sort of individual with a fair bit of frame and thickness. I think he's he'll fit in quite well there. How have you sort of using the bull? Have you AI'd with him at all? Are you just backing up?
Yeah, we have. No, we've selectively AI'd to try and basically replicate calves that are going to come out just like him. Because he's just such a handy looking bull.
Yeah. He's got a fair bit of performance on paper too, with that growth and that as well.
That's right. It's good to actually get a bit of phenotype, a bit of power there, and also have a bit on paper as well to go with it.
Now we're on to a bull I think you've all been waiting for us to talk about. A bull called Murderduke Quarterback. Quarterback has frustrated us a little bit this season with a testicle injury, but he's back in the game and producing plenty of semen. So we look forward to being able to offer you plenty of semen right throughout the spring. We'll hear from Simon here shortly on a few comments and his thoughts on the bull. We're back here at Murderduke in sunny Western Victoria again with Simon, talking about a bull that is on the top of a lot of people's list. Murderduke Quarterback Q11. He's created a bit of hype last spring, and Simon, I first came across the bull on Instagram. He certainly caught my attention, and I suppose he jumped into your opinion as well. Tell us a little bit about how you found that bull, knowing that they're in big contemporary groups and stuff like that here.
Yeah, Rob, we run the bulls in. He was in a mob of about 200 bulls, and as you drive past, as you do, you sort of cast your eye over, and he was a bull that took you caught your eye as you drove past. So we made a mental note to say, well, we must keep an eye on this fella. We didn't have any tags with pedigrees or anything like that. We try not to do that so we're not biased. So he just had a number and we didn't know who he was.
Yeah, excellent. And he certainly, then I suppose you've got genomics on him, he really come to the fore then. And that data really set him alight. Tell us a little bit about the bull's cow family. I know there's a few cows here, full sisters to the mother as well as the mother, and then a bull probably went to South Australia, I think, out of that same family.
Yeah, look, the female side of the pedigree is what really excites us, because it is performing generation after generation. His sisters have all, we're preg testing today, this will be their third calf. All have stayed in the system, all have been pregnant to AI, so it's a really exciting exercise to see fertility in the family. As you said, the top of the drop a couple of years ago was out of the Grand Dam, and she Yeah, and he went over to Starita Park in South Australia.
And she also sold earlier, or late last year, I should say.
Yeah, she did. We sold her at our sale in December, and she was bought by 3 studs, one in Western Australia, one in Victoria, and one in South Australia. So she's gone on to further stud duties. So we're really excited to see how she goes for someone else.
Now, we're really excited about quarterback. We think he puts it all together on 3 points, that phenotype that we spoke about, the performance data, and also the cow family, and hopefully gives you guys a lot of confidence in using the bull. SS Brickyard, a new young bull that's been underrated in my mind, and he's also a bit of a favourite of mine. He's a bull that offers a heap of thickness. He's pretty sound at ground level, great slick coat, and a bull I think really sets you up foundation-wise as a herd. Awesome birth to growth spread, makes bulls that you can sell all day. Look forward to this bull coming forward as we see some progeny around the place. Really thick sort of cattle, strong topped, and some length. I think you can use this bull anywhere really in your herd, and he will set you up fine. We've also got great conception rate data on this bull at over 6% above average, which brought us to bringing in some sex semen on the bull, which we can offer to you as well later this year. Another bull we'll have available for you in sex semen, as well as plenty of conventional, is a proven performer in Clunes Crossing Dusty. A real deep-bodied, well-made sort of bull that has proven the test of time with outstanding numbers of progeny registered in the top few bulls around, with numbers in multiple herds, as well as a great carcass data and early growth. The other thing that this bull has is an extremely low mature cow weight for those aficionados in that space, and look to those new indexes and research indexes that are coming up. This bull will really excel. If you haven't used Dusty already and you're looking forward to the future and want to be up to date, I think Dusty's going to be in that group of bulls. Now have a look at this rooster, DB Iconic. He's an awesome made bull, and our US counterparts have been raving about him to us for the last 12 months. Cody Sankey from Gen X has really pushed this bull. He's got a lot of time for him, and I think so do I. You can see by the way the bull moves around, he's a phenotypic rock star, but yet you get to his arithmetic and he really stands out there as well, with over 3 marbling, a huge amount of growth, but all jammed into a 5/8 frame, which I think is sort of the modern cattle that we're looking for today. So have a look at Iconic. I think he offers a lot, and he's a great bull for those modern breeders. Now we want to bring to you a bull that was the phenotypic standout of the L519 sons from last year. He's a bull called Ball Blair Phenotype, and both Dick Whale and myself really rated this bull in the flesh when we seen him, and you can see the new photo here that we've just put up really speaks to the bull in the way he holds himself, and he's got that great top and muscling, a bull that really appeals to me, and I think he'll appeal to you guys too with his outstanding breed character, and I think this bull can offer a lot on even those modern, sort of moderate carcass bulls that have been used in the breed of late, and I think he really will add some length and dimension to those sort of cattle, and they'll both complement each other really well. Look to Phenotype for your marbling and a well-balanced made package. So with beast mode now out of action and no semen available, we've moved on with 2 sons that we think represent his legacy really well. The first is KO Pandemic. We're here with Heath Tiller from Goolagong Angus. We've just had a look at a bull Heath purchased last year, KO Pandemic, and we'll get Heath to tell us a little bit about the bull. Probably, what did you think of the bull when he first turned up? You bought him sight unseen, but on photo and videos.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, yep. No, he was just exactly what I was hoping he was going to turn out to be, with the phenotype and the thickness.
Yep.
And also, the figures on paper to back up, and very good structurally correct bull.
Yeah, no, we just had a good look at him out in the paddock there. He's out in a 20-acre paddock with 3 or 4 other bulls, and we got some footage for you there to look at. And I see on the way back too, you got a few calves. Well, how's he turning out that way on the Carbonates front?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I used him over some heifers as well. We've probably got 20 odd calves on the ground by him so far, and they all look really good. Yeah. Come out little thick, nice and thick and little, and hitting the ground running. So they look good. Yeah,
excellent. Now looking at his data, I'd expect his birth weight to maybe come back, or at least hold, but probably come back a whisker on that. So next beast mode son we bring to you is Clooney Range Plantation. He's a bull that's moderate, thick, soft, and his feet look like they've been moulded out of clay. He's now just got his first calves on the ground. I'm pretty excited with what I've seen. He's really consistent, and just like his daddy, we're getting phone calls about those calves from all the breeders that have used the bull. We've got some new photo and video of the bull here, which I think he really impresses just in the flesh, and he offers a pretty outstanding genomic package as well in terms of growth, fats, and IMF. I think he's a great replacement for beast mode going on in the future, so get into plantation. Now we're on to our last bull of the night. He's a bull I think's flown under the radar for far too long. Glencock Macahoo. This bull is awesome to look at in the flesh, and I urge you to get a look at him. There's a few other cattlemen that we'll talk to later really loved him. And he's a bull that you'd use on cows to make cows. Phenotypically, he's a standout, a consistent bull. If we had football umpires this consistent, we'd have a lot less troubles in the world. He's got a great hind quarter and stretch to the bull. The length in him's phenomenal. The feet are good. We'll throw to a couple of astute cattlemen with their comments on the bull. We're here with Ben Glatz from Glatz Black Angus, and we've just had a quick inspection of Macahoo and done some video and footage for you to see here shortly. He's not long come from his second home over at Mandaean Angus, and he looks a treat, ready to go out with cows now. You, Ben, for the fourth time, is that right, he's going out with?
Yeah, yep. So he'll see a particularly heavy workload again naturally this year. We've AI'd some cattle as well, and we've got 3 drops on the ground.
Yeah. So on that 3 drops on the ground, you've really tested his calving ease out a bit, and how's he performing on that front?
Very good. So he's seen a lot of heifer joinings himself, AI or naturally, and the calves are around average for birth weight in our contemporaries, and no issue on calving ease. So probably the perfect balance to achieve good calving ease out of heifers without having to chase particularly low birth weight. Yeah, excellent. No, I like what I've seen from the bull here. There's some heifers that you'll see we took some, couldn't help but take a couple of pictures of, and phenotypically they stand up really well. Tell us, Ben, how are you seeing? I know you had bulls in the bull sale back at the start of the year, and how those bulls shaped up in terms of phenotype and stuff like that. Yeah, so they were very well received, Rob. They were the younger bulls in the sale as being naturally mated or mop-up joined bulls, and they were obviously, they sold well, and they were certainly selected for their added frame and length and dimension.
So I think they averaged about $500 above the sale average, which for a bull that probably did some backup as well as some AI,
yes,
covered quite well. Also, why don't you tell us a little bit about Macahoo himself? I mean, he's a bit of a rooster, and you guys will see it in the video, but how would you make the bull?
To me, it seems obvious. There are some high-use AI side females that have been used significantly in recent years that I think he's the perfect match for. Yep. Daughters of bulls like Mo, Beast Mode, EF Complement and LD Capitalist. And we don't have all of them here, but the ones that we do, we've got complements and capitalists, and we think he's the perfect match for those cattle to add a bit of frame and length and dimension. Yeah. And if they need some help in the docility front, he'll certainly contribute to that.
Yeah, for me, the bull's certainly got an ideal frame and ample thickness. Like, he's a really heavy muscle bull for that sort of frame. Pretty impressed with the way he moves, and a really strong top and a reality son. He's really rock solid there, so we're pretty excited about what he can do. I think he's probably been a little bit underrated and underused in the past, but I think he can do a lot for the industry, and I'm pretty excited about what that bull can do for the rest of the industry as well as you.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of high numbered bulls get used heavily based on their numbers early, and then they're forgotten about pretty quickly, whereas this side, probably coming from the other way, we're coming with a really good structured phenotype bull with a good sound production history. That's super sound at, 5-year-old now, roughly. Yep. And you wouldn't see a bull carrying his weight and length and that sort of thing move as well and handle himself as well as he does, I don't think.
We're here at the SA Junior Heifer Expo, and I just wandered across to Tom Baker from Warnerley Cementals, and I was talking to Ben Glatz before, and he said you were out there at his place the other day and you inspected Macahoo.
Yeah, we did, and really interesting bull. I hadn't seen him before. Ben talked a lot about him and obviously seen photos, but really got to appreciate the bull when you see him in the flesh. A bull that's got a huge amount of capacity. He's got softness. He's got structural integrity. Beautiful footed bull. He's got that head shape that you need in a sire. He's got a beautiful head. He's got some carriage and he moves. He ticks a lot of boxes. It's hard to find bulls in any breed that look like that.
Macahoo's a real favourite of mine. and he's a bull that all you guys have been asking for. So we've found the bull, we've put him in your lap. He's up to you guys now to have a crack at him. In some late breaking news at Agri-Gene, we've just managed to secure a new bull in Mujanella Quinella Q33. With Pathfinder and Rennie Lee, he was the $64,000 top price bull at that sale, and he's just arrived at TLG, made a little bit of semen, and I got a good look at him. First thing that come to my mind when I saw this bull was thickness. This bull is really deep in that rear third and deep in the twist, and he's got a really strong Angus head to him. He also offers a pretty awesome set of performance in birth to growth and carcass data. But the big feature on this fella is low mature cow weight, and it's a thing that a lot of breeders have been asking us for lately. This bull has it. So used to moderate some mature cow size without giving up anything else. Also, some other breaking news for you is we have a Kiwi bull coming for later in the spring. Keep your eyes peeled. Thanks for joining us this evening, and a big thanks to Angus Australia for the initiative. We've given you a selection of our bull team tonight. All the other bulls and all the bulls in our catalogue will be available with videos on YouTube to try and help you get the most out of them. We're pretty proud of this bull team that we've put together. There's been a lot of work going into it, and we're excited to offer them to you. Don't be afraid to give us a ring, call us anytime. We're happy to talk Angus cattle with you guys. And just remember, we're here to help you breed the cattle that you want to breed and not tell you how to breed cattle.
I would say a lot of the BRD that I get on my farm goes undetected. We find the best time to vaccinate is obviously at weaning, and if we're trading cattle, it's when they arrive on our farm. Ovishield MH1, you only need one.
G'day everybody, I'm Ben Main from Texas Angus. Firstly, Wendy and I'd like to thank the Angus Society for letting us go into the Angus Spring Bull Night. We think this is a great initiative of the Angus Society to showcase AI size not only in Australia but across the world. Before we get on with tonight's proceedings, I would dearly love to thank everyone who came to our bull sale, not only the people that got bulls, but the people that also were the underbidders. It was a truly amazing day over both the bull and female sale. To even think we'd get an Australian record price of $225,000 for our bull, an Australian average for just under $21,000 was just incredible. And then the next day, our female sale, we topped it $65,000 for a female and sold a heifer for $45,000 to average just over $13,000. It's what dreams are made of. Just can't believe it. It was a amazing week, and also within this week we got the results back from the RNA ECA paddock to pellet, and with some very pleasing results. The first time we've been in it, we came second in the 100-day non-HGP export class, and then the overall results we came second and fourth, and this is great to back up over the last 5 or 6 years of the other competitions we've been going in as well. One thing about these carcass competitions is really starting to show the profitability and performance of cattle, how important it is, as well as carcass quality. The world's entering a new phase to be carbon neutral, and we need cattle that are efficient, are profitable, and when they're in feeder situation to get to the desired weights with desired eating qualities as fast as possible. And this is one thing Texas is really aiming for, to have efficient, profitable cattle. Tonight we are representing 8 different Texas semen size, some well-proven size and some new exciting size. Texas Iceman sold for an Australian record Angus price of $225,000 to Macca's Australian Black Angus Beef. We regard Iceman as the bull to breed bulls. Second to none for temperament, he tracks so well and was one of the widest big-butted bulls we have bred for a long time. Structure and feet is absolutely A1. He is in the top 1 to 10% for 8 different traits and all indexes. Look at the maternal power of Iceman. His dam 8647 has had 18 sons to average over 37,000. His granddam, Z183, has sold nearly $1 million worth of bulls alone. He's sired by the great Poss Maverick, and his outcross genetics are in huge demand across the globe. His 9 sons in this year's bull sale, Texas bull sale, averaged $50,000. Iceman is also a brother to the $900,000 US bull Poss Deadwood. His maternal brothers are Texas Power Play, who got sold for $108,000. No Regrets sold for $32,000. Powerbull got sold for $32,000, and also the bull we kept, Power Shift, for our own stud use. This semen is in hot demand at Genetics Australia, so get in quick. Texas Top Gun. Look at these numbers. A magic set of EBVs you can only dream about. Like his three-quarter brother, Iceman, he's in the top 1 to 10% for 8 different traits, including IMF. Sired by the great Poss Maverick, Top Gun has style to burn, incredible balance and phenotype and docility. His maternal brother, Texas Ernan L612, was sold in the 2017 sale for $56,000 to DSK. You can sleep easy at night when calving your heifers and watch them grow. Texas Top Gun was purchased by Mundalo Angus and will be marketed by worldwide sires globally. Texas Power Play, the second top price bull of 2020. Sold to Kelly's Angus for $108,000 last year, who is also the maternal brother of Texas Iceman. Now that his calves are hitting the ground across Australia, his birth weight is actually coming down, his calving ease is even getting better. His first calves reports at 9 days early at 30 kilos born. All reports from people, they are very excited with the quality of his calves. Power Play is a magnificent, free-moving, well-structured, long-bodied, excellent heifer bull with real growth and phenotype and is very quiet. Weighing 1,070 kilos at 2 years of age, Power Play will inject some serious weight and performance on top of some real quality carcass values. Number one remedy for highly profitable, efficient cattle. Power Play is marketed by worldwide sires globally. Texas Power Shift has been retained for stud duties and has been used every season since he was a year of age. That is why we haven't got any video footage. He's a full ET brother to Texas Power Play. It was like splitting hairs when choosing the difference between these bulls. So similar in every way. Again, all reports of his first calves are very exciting. Born small, grow fast and look very impressive. Stu Hand from Nampara Angus has shown us some impressive photos of his first calves. Power Shift is super quiet, big athletic, well-structured mobile bull with all the maternal history and quality performance to back him up. There is only limited packages of Power Shift available, so give Wendy and I a call if you are interested. Texas Brad Pitt. Wendy calls him this because he is so good looking. A bull that leads the way in phenotype and style. Super quiet and so structurally correct. He has a good strong head and outlook, soft, thick and heavily built that moves so gracefully. Like Power Shift, we are only offering limited packages, so call us if you are interested. His dam F204 is a very consistent breeder that was just sold for $28,000 in our female sale as an 11-year-old cow. We have a number of his calves hitting the ground now and we are very excited on just how stylish and consistent they are. Brad Pitt, if he's definitely one for you, let us know. Texas Quantum Leap. Sold to Little Meadows Angus, Western Australia last year for $42,000 and marketed through Agri-Gene. He is definitely the best, most stylish Ashland son we have produced or seen anywhere. He boasts excellent structure, style and phenotype and has a beautiful set of EBVs to back him up. Quantum Leap is a moderate, long, thick-bodied bull with strength of head, good muzzle and super quiet. A bull well worth some serious consideration to use. Texas Radesh R711. Why shop anywhere else when you can have 7-Eleven? his full flush brother was sold to Prime Angus for an equal third top price of $55,000. His dam was also sold for $19,000 the next day as a 10-year-old cow, who is a full flush sister to Texas Global, who's been a highly used bull across Australia, topping a number of sales with his sons. Radesh has a magnificent temperament and structure, a real foot improver. He's a stylish, thick, soft, long-bodied Mo's son with a good, strong head and outlook. Chasing a high-fat, easy-doing, low birth weight heifer bull with super strong maternal cow line, then Radesh is a bull for you. Texas NASA N121. Like his sire, Texas Mount K2, NASA is a proven calving ease heifer bull that will inject some serious growth and performance and stamp that Texas type to his progeny. He's got a strong, broad head and muzzle with a big, long, powerfully built body. Structure and feet A1. NASA's sons will feature heavily in next year's bull sale. His Grand Dam E30 was sold to 3R Livestock last year for $60,000 as an 11-year-old cow and is definitely a foundation cow of the Texas herd. NASA ticks all the boxes in both phenotype, quality and performance, with a beautiful balance of EBVs to back him up. Top 1% for gestation and 600. You'll be hard to find that anywhere else. If NASA is the one for you, please contact Wendy or I. Wendy and I would like to thank you all for watching. We believe all 8 of our bulls speak for themselves. They all display the Texas type, where structure, docility and phenotype are paramount, along with balance. We will never ever and never have chased single trait selection. If anyone would like any further information on these bulls, please do not hesitate to contact us.
We understand the importance of achieving the best possible outcome with assisted reproduction. That's why we at Vetiquinol have created RePro 360. We partner with key industry stakeholders and provide extensive resources, services and technical information. This enables breeders, veterinarians and artificial breeding companies to have a holistic and collaborative approach to livestock reproduction. We offer a range of high-end veterinary products, along with professional support and practical solutions. Our specialised services and proven products are helping maximise success with assisted breeding programs around the country. Get in touch with our friendly team today, multiply your outcomes and benefit from a partnership for life.
G'day, Cameron Cutler here, Beef Product Support for Semex Australia. Thank you for taking the time to watch our session tonight. It's a really fantastic time for the beef cattle industry at the minute. Beef cattle prices are an all-time high and great seasonal conditions. Many of the older generation are commenting that this is the best they've ever seen it, and I believe them. We're going to walk you through some of our existing bulls tonight and give you an update on their progeny, as well as introduce you to some new exciting sires. Semex catalogue keeps growing from strength to strength, and we really look forward to working with each and every one of you into the future, whether you're a stud person or commercial. Here's our list of bulls for tonight.
First up tonight is Varrolet Geddes 7068, and isn't this fella starting to put some runs on the board? There'll be a few sons to sell prior to this video coming out. We're really looking forward to the feedback that we get from those sales. The feedback we've had so far from stud and commercial breeders is the overall phenotype and natural thickness makes him usable in most programs going on around Australia. Combining this with really balanced performance data makes Geddes a bull to have on your list this spring. Inventory on Varrolet Geddes at the minute is a little bit limited, so get in quick if you want to use him. We do hope to have more semen later this year and early next year. We're here with Nick Frank from Frank Angus. We just had a look at some of the Geddes calves that are here, and we'll just have a chat about what you think about them, Nick. So tell us a bit about Frank Angus and what your story is.
Well, Frank Angus my grandfather started a stud Ginnemock back in the 50s, and he had a stud, did a lot of showing, etc. And the parents took over. They became Pawnee Park Angus, and since then we've become Frank's Angus. So it's just been a real continuation of that Ginnemock stud from the 50s. We sell locally around Ballarat. We're not a big stud by any stretch of the imagination, but we've been in the game a long time.
Yep.
So yeah, we enjoy what we do, and we've had a lot of loyal customers and clients for a long time.
Oh, very good. So what attracted you to use Ballarat Geddes in your herd?
Well, Geddes was a bull that when I went through, I was looking for a bull to probably put over some plainer, bigger cattle.
Yep.
So I was looking probably to pull back on birth weights, mature cow weight, just maybe pull back a little bit on that. But as you've seen in the weather conditions here, keep a little bit of fat cover. So, he seemed to meet all that criteria. And when you have a look through your catalogues, there's a lot of bulls that probably could have done that. But once I saw him on that video, the YouTube video, really liked the look of the bull. He very clean fronted, held his weight really good. He's not one of these bulls that you see that the guts is nearly touching the ground. His weight was all in the right places. And I was just really impressed with his YouTube video and the look of him, because I still like to look at a bull. The phenotype very important.
Yeah.
A lot of my clients still sell in the market, so to me, the look and the type of the bull still really important. So really impressed with the look of him too.
Oh, very good. So how have you used him in your herd to get the best effect?
Over those bigger, plainer, growthier sort of cattle that, as I said, have probably pushed up in birth weight, lower fat. So I'm just trying to pull back on that and maintain that back third. He's really thick through the back end, thick over the top line. So as I said, those bigger, plainer type cattle, that probably I just need to moderate a bit on that and pull it back a bit.
Yeah, and you're happy with the results so far?
Look, the calves I've got on the ground, he's really done that. They're very even. Got a very smooth back line, very, very straight across the back. Haven't got that tail head that sort of cocks up, which I don't like much either. So look, so far so good. He's done what I was hoping for and what you'd expect too from what I've seen.
No, very good. Well, they look good in the wet conditions here at Caramballic, but very good. Thank you for your time, and all the best going forward.
Thanks for showing some interest in it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Up next is Montana Elevation 7108. His first progeny hit the ground this autumn, and breeders so far have been wax lyrical on the quality and the thickness that he's bringing to their programs. Combining this with his indexes all in the top 1%, as well as 2 4-600 day weights in the top 1%, makes Elevation a balanced bull for any programs that might be going on where phenotype and performance data go hand in hand. A new and exciting bull to our lineup this year is Raven Nevada G100, sired by Spring Cove Reno 4021 and a Raven Blackbird Blackie E300. A bull again that appeals for those seeking that low birth and high growth. With his 2 and 400 day weights in the top 5%, his 600 in the top 10%, and his AB, grain and grass indexes in the top 5%. But a bull that also appeals to those looking for those carcass traits, with his carcass weight in the top 10% and EMA in the top 3%. We had hoped to have brought Nevada to you earlier this year. However, an injury late last year set him back slightly. He has since made a full recovery As we can see here in these pictures and videos that follow, it hasn't set him back much at all. We feel there's a lot of upside with Nevada, and he will most likely take the place of Varrolet Geddes over the next few years. We're expecting Nevada's first progeny next autumn, but that doesn't mean you have to wait that long to use Nevada in your herd. Box Specialist 98, fast becoming our specialist calving ease bull. Combining great calving ease direct and calving ease daughters with a birth weight in the top 10% and 600 in the top 10%, as well as two 400-day weight in the top 5% and domestic and grass indexes in the top 5%. We've seen some big time use in a lot of commercial herds where the calving ease and extra growth are important for anyone selling calves in the weaner sales. I'd also like to point out the extra frame that Specialist brings to the table with a 6.8, as well as the lower mature cow weight for anyone who's just wanting that extra growth without the excessively big cow weights. As we can see in the video, he also has the eye appeal to match, that natural thickness and that mobility that's so important whether it's in the stud or commercial world. So if you're looking for a heifer option bull this year, I'd give Specialist a go. I'm sure he won't disappoint. Now we have Schiefelbein Attractive 4565, another bull that's going to add some real power and presence to your program. He's in the top 1% for 2 and 400 day weight, top 5% for 600 and domestic index, and top 10% for the grass index. Attractive is exceptionally deep in his makeup, with tremendous body design, foot shape and heel depth. Attractive was another group of bulls that were highly sought after in North America during the bull sailing season earlier this year. And after looking at these videos and pictures to follow, it's easy to understand why. Up next, Musgrave 316 Colossal 137. A capitalist son out of a Musgrave Lady Barbara cow, which tracks back to Musgrave Big Sky, with that great calving ease, low birth and moderate growth that we come to expect from the capitalist cattle. The commercial breeders that have used Colossal have been really impressed with the results. They've come to expect the low birth, quick growth and natural eye appeal that these calves have, which makes it a real pleasure when it comes time to sell them and take advantage of these great prices currently on offer in the beef industry. We're here at Grassdale Estate Angus with Brad and Fee Marson to talk about Musgrave Colossal and his use here. Brad, what made you select Musgrave Colossal to use here?
So, probably the main thing would be his phenotype, and in that probably the key features for us were his temperament, his frame size and his mustering ability. And we're starting to see that in the calves, but then alongside that his birth to growth is what we want, and then also with his positive calving ease, it gives us the option to use him wherever we want, whether that be heifers or cows.
Yeah. And how have you used him so far?
So we're using him over our moderate cows just to try and lock in that frame size, and also maintain our muscling quality in the herd. So that's probably the main way we're using him.
Yeah. And you happy with the results so far?
Yeah, so far they've been really good. Yeah, they have been good.
Yeah. And so your market around here is mainly targeting that weaner sale market in early January?
Yeah, look, a portion of it is, but we also sell to backgrounders that aim for a feedlot entry, and then we also sell a couple of bulls to a feedlot themselves on their own house herd. So we sort of have to look at a broader spectrum through there with the calves.
Yeah. And you recently sold some steers at Casson and done really well with them too, haven't you?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did really well. We were surprised how well they went, so it's looking good.
Very good. Now, Fee, can you just tell us a little bit of background on Grassdale Estate and your position here?
Yes, can. So Grassdale Estate's been in our family for 5 generations now, since about 1860. So it's really exciting that Brad and I get to continue on here. My position is obviously full-time boss and manager. I do as much as I can between the kids, but always out there feeding, checking cows, and helping out, practicing everything.
So Grassdale Estate will be one to watch in the future by the sound of it.
We'll see, hopefully.
Very good. Thanks for your time, guys.
Good, thanks, Cam.
New to our lineup this year is EXAR Pillar 9723B, the son of EXAR Monumental out of a Wilkes Black Cap cow. He's in the top 1% for 24600 day weight, carcass weight and all selection indexes, as well as being in the top 5% for IMF. Pillar was part of the Express Ranchers Grand Champion Penna 3 bulls last year at Denver. He's a deep-made, massively thick and large-scrotaled individual. If you're looking for a bull to push the scales down this spring, then look no further than Riverbend Upgrade 8605. Top 1% for 24600 day weight, mature cow weight and carcass weight, as well as domestic grain and grass indexes, makes Riverbend Upgrade a great option for those seeking heavy weighing cattle. But aside from this really good performance data, let's take a look at the pictures and video here. The eye appeal, natural thickness and mobility of this bull means he's not just a one-trick pony. He could certainly upgrade your herd this spring. Thank you once again for taking the time to watch our session tonight. We hope you enjoyed it. We had a great time bringing it to you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me via my email or my mobile, which is displayed on screen now. I'd like to also take this opportunity to thank Brad and Fiona Marston from Grassdale Angus, Nick Frank from Frank's Angus, and Peter and Simone Bond from Blackstone Angus. Semex is always looking really hard to bring you bulls, whether that be from North America or here in Australia. We want to make sure that we have the best to give you the best. We look forward to talking to you soon, and we'll catch you next year.
So with that, we come to the end of the Angus Australia Spring Bull Night for 2021. We'd like to thank you for participating and the presenters for a series of great presentations. Please take a moment to fill out the evaluation. As mentioned, it's only with this information that we can continue to bring you this event. Details are in the description below. If you want to know more, there's the Angus Australia database for more information on the bulls, or contact any one of our speakers tonight to discuss the bulls' use in your herd, with their contact details available through the Angus Australia website or give staff at Angus Australia a call for any assistance with accessing or utilising the features of the Angus Australia database, or to better understand the TACE analysis. Equally, if you're chasing herd bulls by a sire you've seen tonight, then the Angus Australia database can help you track down the right bull for you with Angus Sale Select or Angus Database Search. A recording of this event will remain on the Angus Australia YouTube channel, so if you know anyone who missed the event, let them know so they can check it out. And if you have a moment, again, we'd really appreciate if you could provide feedback on the event. It's been great. I'm Matt Reynolds. Thanks very much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next year.